Man, I cannot tell you how long I have waited to do this. I have been wanting to get out here, do a little van camping with the little Honda 125 for a really long time. And life just hasn't allowed me to do that until right now. And so I am extremely happy to be out here in this beautiful southern Arizona climate. And I've got a cozy nest to sleep in tonight. And then tomorrow I get to go ride around on the trails all day on the small motorcycle. What a great day to be back in action, back on the road, making videos down here in southern Arizona. I'm Sterling. If you're new here, this is the Motorcycle Travel Channel. It's my channel about motorcycle travel, adventure, and camping. Right now, I'm in my home state area of southern Arizona with my van and the little Honda Trail 125. We're going to spend a few days riding and camping down here in this beautiful part of the country. So I'm down here in the grasslands of southern Arizona, the San Rafael Valley area. These are Arizona's last remaining native grasslands down here. It's a really special part of the state. I feel so fortunate to live with this practically in my backyard. It's about 50 or 60 miles away from home where I'm at, so just a little short jaunt over here in the van last night. I know it's been a long time since I've posted a video on this channel. Unfortunately, I got distracted with a little bit of a motorcycling injury. So in this video, I'm going to fill you in on all the details, tell you what happened, and tell you about my recovery and what's coming up next. But suffice to say that I'm back at it, and I couldn't be happier to be where I am right now, in my van with my little motorcycle down here in southern Arizona. This is kind of like getting back into the swing of things. This is my first attempt to get back on a bike, the small bike, and ride, have a good go at it, and I think it's going to be a really fun few days out here in the desert. I had a motorcycle accident this fall when I was filming the California BDR.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. Just a little inshot. I hit a deer.
You hit a deer?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
A deer bounded out in front of me, and I just grabbed a handful of brakes and skidded, and just hit him. And that sent my bike into a spin. Totally lost control. Ended up basically on the side of the road with my bike halfway down the side of the hill. I'm okay, except for my wrist is real sore. I went to the ER, got it checked out, and it turned out that I damaged it pretty bad. So my hand was pretty messed up. That's what the doctor told me. Broke my wrist. It crushed the scaphoid bone, which is a bone in the palm of my hand, and I tore all the ligaments away from the scaphoid bone as well. It was completely disconnected from my body. So they had to put 7 pins in my wrist and in my hand. I had to wear a variety of casts for about 6 weeks and just suffer through the pain of that type of recovery. And I had thought about trying to document that process, but as it turns out, I wasn't quite able to do that. It was miserable enough that I just really kind of had to focus on healing. Yeah, this kind of sucks. Yeah. I got my camera out a few times just to record a few simple scenes to kind of show you guys a little bit about what life was like trying to use my left hand to do everything. I'm a right-handed person, and it was my right hand that was injured. And so for a couple of months, I had to use my left hand for just about anything that I needed to do in life. And of course I was in a lot of pain and on pain medicine, and that made it so that I wasn't able to sleep for more than an hour or two at a time. So it was a pretty miserable couple of months. But I came out the other end of it. I got the cast removed. At this point in time, I'm able to ride my small motorcycle, but I just don't have that flexibility, that mobility in my wrist. It's just very, very stiff. So that's why I'm out riding the small bike, easing my way back into this motorcycle life. I'm not sure when I'll get back on the big bike. On the pavement, I don't think it would be hard, but going off on the rough and rugged off-roads where you're hitting lots of rocks and have to have a really sturdy grip on the handlebar, and then occasionally it gets jostled one way or the other. I just kind of want to work my way back up to that. Well, this is my campsite tonight, and it is absolutely fantastic. Why don't I give this campsite Sterling's campsite rating score? Let's run through that, and I'll tell you what I give this campsite. 5 categories. You get either 0 points, 1 point, or 2 points in each category, depending on how good it does. So in terms of natural beauty, I'm going to give this the maximum 2 points. Definitely has natural beauty right here. What a beautiful hilltop vista here overlooking mountains and the desert, which is kind of green right now. So 2 points for beauty. Privacy, we'll say 2 points again. I just don't see anybody out here. Just me and the van. I'm all by myself, as private as I could want to be. So privacy, we get 2 points. Legality. This is national forest land, and it's completely legal to camp here, to stay here if you abide by the rules and don't stay longer than 14 days in any one place. So it gets 2 points for legality. The next category is cost. Like I said, this was free, so 2 points for that. It's as good as it can get. Well, the last category is water. That's Sterling's special category because I feel like water just really elevates a campsite. And unfortunately, there is no water here. There's no source of water, no stream, creek, lake, river, anything like that. So 0 points for water. So that's 8 points. We've got 8 points for this campsite, which still makes it one of the better campsites in my opinion. This is a good one. I mean, just look around. So really beautiful down here in these grasslands. I'm going to have such a good night. I'm going to cook a good meal, have a couple of beers. I'll be nice and warm in the van, and then I can get up and go for a ride tomorrow. So really looking forward to spending the next couple of days out here in this beautiful part of Arizona. Glad you're along with me. So I'm just sitting here up on this bluff overlooking these rolling hills. I'm going to spend the entire day just riding around on the back roads and the small roads, and I'm really looking forward to it because this is something that I don't always get a chance to do. A lot of times on my motorcycle trips, I'm on a bigger bike, and those bikes don't exactly encourage this kind of exploration that I'm going to be doing today. In other words, I'm on the really small Honda 125, and it's a 250-pound motorcycle, and compared to a 500-pound motorcycle, so it's a lot easier to ride on the rougher, smaller, more closed-in, more grown-in trails. So it should be a little bit easier to get back into some of these places and turn around and get back out and just kind of poke along and do the kind of exploring that I don't do when I'm on a bigger bike trip. And the other thing I would say about this trip in particular is that it's a van and motorcycle trip, which to me is really special. You guys know how much I love motorcycle camping, but as I've grown older, as you would expect, sometimes the difficulties of the motorcycle camping experience, just make it harder and more challenging and not as comfortable. And sometimes a part of me just wants to be able to come out to a place like this with a van, park it, and have the comfort of a nice bed, a warm place to sleep, a place to cook my food, but then still have the benefit of going out and riding my motorcycle all day. So I kind of feel like I have the best of both worlds. I've got the van for sleeping and the little trail bike to just ride around today. This bike is absolutely perfect for riding around on these little trails. It is just eating up any obstacles that it comes across with ease, a no stress situation for the operator, which I always appreciate, and I'm just having so much fun. Granted, I'm not doing wheelies and kicking up a big rooster tail of rocks, but she is utterly competent and capable of tackling these kinds of hills with loose rocks. This is just so easy on this little bike. These are the kind of roads that I would have a bit of a handful on the GS. This little bike just likes tooting around on these rough roads. The only thing I really feel like I have to really pay attention to and watch out for are big rocks or big ruts in the road, because this doesn't really have the wheels and suspension to be able to eat those things up. So I do have to kind of be a little bit more mindful of choosing the right line or slowing down if things get too rough. Okay, now this is a situation where you just want to kind of pick and choose your line through this minefield of sharp, big rocks. This isn't something that you can just power over indiscriminately. This bike doesn't have the tires, the wheels, the suspension to be able to do that. So I'm just picking my way through, dog paddling as necessary. And there we go, just like that. I've made it out. Right now I'm just standing up here in these Santa Rita Mountains, gazing off at the snow-covered peaks in the distance. I am having the time of my life just out here riding around on the little Honda Trail. This is just the right bike for me to ease back into motorcycling. There we go, just chugging up the hill. That right there is one of the advantages of riding a motorcycle like this, is that it can just get you through these technical sections with so much ease. It's stress-free. If you tip over, you just pick it right back up in a couple of seconds. You're probably not even gonna tip over. In fact, let me tell you a secret. I've been riding this motorcycle for 2 years and I have yet to tip it over. Either riding, moving it around in a parking lot, or putting it on its side stand. Any of the ways that you would usually tip over a larger motorcycle, it hasn't happened yet in 2 years on this motorcycle. And again, knock on wood, touch branches, but that's the truth. This is a track that I've previously ridden called the Fish Canyon Loop. And so if you come down here to ride around southern Arizona, either at my rally in April or just on your own, and you're looking to do this particular ride, look for the Fish Canyon Loop. It's on my website. Now I know that this is one of the steepest sections of the road here, and I'm obviously going downhill. I'm in first gear, just using a little bit of engine braking and mostly the front brake to scrub some speed off so that I don't go too fast. But I have to say that unlike on a big adventure bike, this is actually a very stress-free experience. I am not in the least bit stressed out about heading down this hill on this little tiny bike. Just like that, we've worked our way down a pretty technical hill with very little effort and fuss and stress. Well, now I'm gonna head down this dirt road for just a little ways, and then we'll be heading back up a steeper road into the canyon across the way over there. This is Guajolote Flats. It's one of the roads down here in this area that I've marked out, that I have GPS tracks for, and I give those tracks away to people when they come down and ride here in southern Arizona. Oh yeah, so beautiful here. Look at this. This particular road, I would exercise some caution just because it's pretty challenging, it's pretty steep. Now this would be a bit of a steep and loose climb if you were heading the other direction through a couple sections here. It's not just a normal dirt road. So anyways, Guajolote Flats, that's what's coming up next. Let's give it a go. This is a steep hill right here. Look at this. Come on, girl. Hey, there we go. She's got some torque. This is a road that I found last year. The reason that I like this road is that it's one of the steepest roads I've found down here in southern Arizona. The hill climb to get up to the top of this road, it's got to be 20%
plus of a grade. It's really steep. I'm approaching it from the back way, which is actually a little bit more of a rugged 2-track going up from this side, and then I'm going to drop down on the other side, and you'll see what I mean when we talk about a steep hill. This little bike is, you know, it's not the most powerful thing, and you kind of have to chug along, and it doesn't have, you know, super high suspension or clearance, but it's making it up. It's making it up this hill, and there's no fear factor. I just feel like I'm having a good time, and I just have to be patient. I remember coming up this hill last year on my 1200 GS, and it was one of those, you know, sweaty palms kind of things, and I actually made it all the way without any incidents. So I'm really proud of myself for having climbed this hill on my 1200, but it's probably not something I'd really want to do again. I'm enjoying it on this little bike. Here we go. All right. Yeah, come on, baby. It's steep, and I'm bucking, whoa, like a bucking bronco. But you know what? On this little bike, it's just, you know, you might be a little out of control here and there, but it's just kind of fun. It's almost comical. It's not like on a giant bike where you're afraid you're gonna tip over and smash your leg under the bike. All right. It did not want to stop going. It just wanted to climb up that road, and it got incredibly steep and rocky and rutted out. Oh, it's so steep. So steep. There we go. An absolute handful, but an absolute blast on that little bike. There was no sense of being out of control or in danger because it's just so small and light. Woo! Yeah. We're going. It made short work of that hill. I had to be patient, work with the motorcycle, not just power over the obstacles like you have to do on a giant adventure bike. Holy cow. Woo! Yeah. Okay. I think this is it. This is the top. Wow. Yeah. Over there, that's Mexico. On the other side of those mountains, we are down by the border here. This is one of the steeper sections right here. Sliding my way down, dragging my rear brake, using my front brake to really scrub some speed off. Yeah. Oh. Wow. Oh. Okay. Woo. I'm trying to go pretty slow because my wrist just started healing after surgeries, and the last thing I want to do is tip over and injure it again, so bear with me. There we go. Okay. Not something I would want to do on my bigger bike, especially right now with my wrist being what it is, but another good spot to pause and take a moment to look out at the beautiful scenery here. Looks like some old mining infrastructure here. Obviously some tailings from mining, some material that they dug out of the ground. You can see the different colored rocks here. All right, we're back on the main road here. The main road that goes down by the border. Little traveled, probably some border patrol comes down here, maybe some hunters. I don't really know who else would come down here. Okay, it's steep and loose. Oh, yeah. Woohoo! Okay, come on, girl. She can climb up some pretty steep stuff, but definitely struggles a little bit. But that's okay. pretty stress-free ride. It would be helpful if I had some better off-road tires. Kind of got street tires on here right now. Look how easy you can just turn around in the middle of the road. Try doing that on a 1200 GS. The silver lining in all of this, the hidden benefit, beauty, and joy, is that it's allowed me to really discover the joy and the wonder of riding this small trail bike, which is something I've wanted to do since I got this bike 2 years ago. Now this is a pretty fun off-camber 2-track, steep. Whoa. Whew. Wow. Okay. And only now have I really got a chance to take it off-road and spend a couple of almost 100-mile days, 80 miles yesterday, 120 today, riding on these rugged desert forest roads and rocky 2-tracks. And I have to say that this little bike does really great. There's like almost nothing that it can't do on this kind of terrain. Now obviously it has its limitations and its power, but it seems to be capable of making it up just about anything. And the fun part is just trying to do it as smoothly as possible. My goodness, I have put this little bike through its paces and it just has not given up. I feel like I'm going to be doing a lot more travels just on this little bike. It has been absolutely fun, and I don't feel like I've really sacrificed anything as a motorcyclist. It is every bit as fun as any other motorcycle that I've ridden, and perhaps even more so because it's more fun and less stressful. And there hasn't been a single instance where I wished that I had 1,000 cc's more power than what I've had. I feel like there's kind of a secret to these small bikes that I've kind of discovered riding around today. The ease and simplicity and the joy and the stress has just faded away. I've just been riding on these rugged, rough roads without any real care or concern about whether I could make it up the trail, or whether I would tip over, or if I would injure myself, or if I would damage my bike, or how would I pick up my motorcycle if it fell. All of that's just disappeared. It's been nothing but the pure fun joy of riding. And it helps that it's really lightweight, and it also helps that it's an automatic, that there's no clutch to have to work. And so that's just one less thing to have to think about, to have to deal with when you go through these more challenging technical situations. Now, I don't want to overstate this case. A bike like this has its limitations. It's certainly not going to compete with a larger motorcycle if you're going down the paved road or down the highway, but that's not its place. I feel like its place was exactly where it was today, riding around on these gravel roads and these trails, and it has just been an absolute pleasure. I feel so fortunate to have had these last couple of days to ride this motorcycle out in this place. And I'm sure there's going to be some more adventures with this bike to come. Well, we're getting back towards the pavement. Be the end of our little off-road journey through the Santa Rita OHV area. I hope you guys have enjoyed riding around in this part of the southern part of Arizona with me. I've sure had a good time today. So that's kind of the silver lining in all of this business of injuring my hand and getting back into motorcycling. I'm going to leave it at that for now. I think we've had a good run out here in the Santa Rita Mountains. And I have one last night here of cooking my food and having a drink and watching the sun go down, and that's exactly what I'm going to do right now. Well, my hand might never get back to where it was. That's the long and short of it. But I'll take what I can get. I'll take what I can get and be happy that I'm still able to ride a motorcycle and come out to places like this one, bring you guys along on these adventures. Life could be a lot worse. So there you go. There's my story that explains my absence from this channel for the last few months. I hope you understand. This isn't my full-time job. I do it when I can, when it feels right, with no pretensions towards any kind of a schedule. I don't want it to feel like work. I hope you understand. This experience means a lot to me, and I like to keep it free and pure. Go out there when it feels right. Make these videos and share them with you guys when it feels right. So I hope you've enjoyed this one. There are a few more coming up. Actually, some videos that are coming up on this channel are ones that I filmed just about exactly a year ago, riding my 1200 GS around the desert, and I filmed a few motorcycle camping videos that I've never been able to post yet, so I'll put those up on the channel next. Well, this is it. Another Arizona sunset. Just doesn't get any better than this. So glad you guys came along on this adventure, and I'm so glad that I'm back out on the road in the van, on the motorcycle, doing what I love to do. I encourage you all to come down, visit this part of the country when you have a chance. But you can come any time of the year and visit us at the Jonquil Motel down in Bisbee. And next for that, let's just say that we've had a good adventure down here. It's been a heck of a good time riding the Honda Trail 125 down here on the back roads of southern Arizona. There's going to be a lot more in store for this bike. Well, you guys be well, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.